My ex-best friend had a baby with my ex. And to add salt to the injury, you even catered for her financial needs. You are there for her emotionally when she was going through crap, and she didn't even appreciate that. And then to make matters worse, she tells you that your man should be hers and her man should be yours. Like, why would you even do that to someone? Let alone even just a best friend. Like, why would you do that to someone? Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of my channel. So today's video is all about friendships and betrayal, just as the title of the video suggests. So I recently posted a photo of me on my community tab, and my caption was just all about friendships and betrayal. And I asked you guys if you have ever gone through friendships that ended up because of betrayal, and how it actually happened. And some of you were open enough to share with me your experiences, and some of you just mentioned, how they'd handle it if they were in such a situation. So this video is all about that, and if you're interested, then definitely keep on watching. So just before we continue with our video, I'd like to say this: if you haven't subscribed to my channel, definitely consider subscribing right now, like now. Okay, so how I'm going to go about this whole video is I'll just mention the first name of the person and then say what they had to comment, or rather their comment on that particular post. Yeah, and I'll definitely put a photo right here so that those who didn't see the post or didn't respond to it, can go and view it if they'd like to. So Kabu says, I forgive and move on. It's okay to no longer have a person who betrayed me in my circle, which is so true. Like for me, if I have to go through betrayal, definitely I just cut off the person. Of course, I'll forgive for my own good sake, for my sake, so that I don't carry the burden as I move on. But cutting them off is definitely not something I'd think about it twice. Yeah. And let me just say this from a personal situation: I have never gone through betrayal because of friendship, or I have never gone through a situation where I had to cut off someone in my life because of betrayal. Maybe some other reasons, but definitely not like some deep, serious betrayal. Okay. But some of you have mentioned some serious stories here, which I'd like to share with the rest of the viewers. So Ashley says, yes, I have been betrayed by a former best friend. She told almost everyone in our class and the guy I had a big crush on that I liked him. I was humiliated and embarrassed. The next day, I didn't go to school because of this. When I saw her the next time, I gave her a piece of my mind and she gave the saddest apology. So now I've learned something so important: to be careful with who I tell or trust to tell. Yeah. Also, the guy who I liked felt so bad, and he apologized for to me even though he didn't do anything. He ended up liking me as well. I hope no one goes through that. I have more stories to share. Ashley, if you're watching this, you can definitely share more of your stories in the comment section, so that people can relate. People can find stories they can relate to. Yeah. So So this is the thing. Actually, this is so disappointing. Like, first of all, you just said that this person is your best friend, not just a regular friend, a best friend. Yeah. So you have some expectations that come with that kind of a friendship. So it's horrible. It's terrible that this person had to, or rather, your best friend had to betray in such a way. Because I feel like if you have a best friend and you tell them a secret, they should shush. Okay. And I can totally relate. Okay. In some way, half of the story I can relate, because some years back, I had a crush on someone, and I told a close friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, Joy. Okay, you guys know Joy. I've mentioned her in my previous videos because she's one of the closest friends I have, and I actually shared with her of my experience of how I had a crush on someone in school. And so, yes, she didn't tell someone, but I can just imagine how I'd feel if she ended up telling other people. Yeah, so it's horrible. Yeah, it's really, really horrible. So but the good thing, Ashley, about your story is that the person you had a crush on ended up knowing the truth, but it worked for you because the person ended up liking you. So I feel like it was a win situation for you in the long run. Yeah. So if you have best friends, I mean, why would they know you, the two of you are best friends, so why would they have to tell the secret? Yeah, so it's obviously betrayal. And then this one is even more serious. Pretty says, my ex best friend had a baby with my ex. I forgive because, thank God, she took the L from me. She's gotten cheated on during pregnancy, and I think it's called chlamydia. I don't know what that is. I wouldn't wish that on nobody, but that's not my business. I think that's what she said. But this is really bad. Like, this is serious. Like, this is horrible. Like, why on earth would you? First of all, my ex best friend, again, not just a regular friend, best friend, had a baby with your ex. Like, that is betrayal. Betrayal came in a package, two packages together, your ex and your best friend. Like, that's so horrible. And sometimes I just wonder, like, why would you even do that to someone, let alone even just a best friend? Like, why would you do that to someone? Yeah. And then another thing, I'm just wondering, pretty, like, didn't you see the signs before this whole thing happened? Like, did you see your best friend trying to be way too close to your man? Like, did you see, like, they were flirting in some way? I don't know, did you see signs? If you're watching this video, tell us in the comment section. But this is really horrible. Like, if it were you and you go through this situation, like, what would you do? Tell me in the comment section. This is so horrible. But obviously you just have to cut them off. And sometimes this is how I always look at a situation. Sometimes you can consider people to be very close in your life, but sometimes that is God's way of removing such people from your life. Because imagine, pretty, if you ended up having a baby with this guy and then he cheated on you with some other people, you'll be attached, like, you'll be tied to this person for the rest of your life in a way, because you share a baby. Okay, so I'm hoping you don't, so that you cut off such a person from your life, so that you can meet a better person who's meant for you. So look at it from the positive side of life. Yeah, tell me in the comment section, for those who have never gone through a situation, try to put yourself in her shoes. What would you do? This is horrible. But I think that's a way of God removing trash from your life, so that you can get the one who's meant for you. That's just my own perspective. Yeah. And then this is another one, a long story. Kimberly says, it's a long story, okay? Kimberly says, I was betrayed by somebody who was closer to me than my own sister. We went on a trip together. She kept flirting with my guy, and then got mad because he would not flirt back. She stayed drunk, and she and her guy fought the entire trip. And when we got back from the trip, she was mad because my guy bought me gifts and gave me money, and her guy did not. Okay. We stayed at a beautiful resort. She didn't want to stay at the resort. She wanted to stay at the house with him. I guess that's your boyfriend or your man. And that's exactly what she did. She even said, quote unquote, I should be with your man and you should be with my man. How's this person even someone closer to you than your own sister? Anyway, she continues to say, when he got back home from our trip, she blocked me on social networks, and when I called her, she would never answer. So, about the third time I called her, I said, listen, I'm not gonna chase behind you. Something is wrong with you, and I'm not gonna make it wrong with me. See ya. It hurt so bad because this was somebody who I loaned money to, who I helped when she was sad, stayed up talking to her through shit when her boyfriend left her. I paid for her trip and my trip. She was mad because she was not the center of attention for my man. Why would she be the center of attention and she has her own guy? Like, common sense. Anyway, yeah, it's all over. I never want to see her again. Good luck to her, though. I wish her nothing but the best. You're even a good person to wish her the best, honestly. But I think you're the bigger person here. It's ridiculous, and I don't even like. I'm just wondering, didn't you see any signs? I feel like she's a narcissist. Okay, someone who does wrong to people and they don't even apologize, and they don't see anything wrong in their actions. They feel like they're entitled to all good things, them and not anyone else. They cannot celebrate any other person's goodness. This is horrible. Like, me, if I had a friend like that, I would cut you off chap chap. So I'm just wondering, like, you didn't see any signs, but that's not the point. The good thing is, I feel like I said, sometimes that's God's way of showing you the red flags. That's God's way of removing such people from your life, because this life in itself has its own issues, and you don't need someone who's mentally draining you, okay, spiritually draining you. And to add salt to the injury, you even catered for her financial needs. You are there for her emotionally when she was going through crap, and she didn't even appreciate that. And then to make matters worse, she tells you that your man should be hers and her man should be yours. Like that's a narcissist, honestly. Like, that's a narcissist. That's horrible. And I know there's so many other people out there who go through it. Looks like a reality TV show, okay? Like, what it's just crazy, in short. Okay, it's crazy, and I would never have such a person in my life. Never. Like, never. Like, why would you want to stay with a man? Why? It's crazy. And then the person comments again and says, you cannot be friends with someone who wants to be you. True. You know, this is the thing that I feel like people do always miss this point. It's okay to look at someone's what way of life, or the kind of stage in life that they're in, what they're going through, which is way better than yours, and realize that they're ahead of you. But don't look at it at an angle where you feel like they're a threat to you. They are making you lesser of who you are. I think the best way to look at it is someone else's glory or someone else's success should inspire you to be better, okay? So if she felt like her guy wasn't doing right by her, the best thing for her should be just to drop that person and hope to get someone better for herself, but not try and steal your man hoping that she can build a castle on it. Like, you can never build success on someone else's tears, period, okay? So yeah, it's crazy and it's so true. You can't be friends with someone who wants to be you. Okay, I can only inspire someone else. Like, for example, I'm doing YouTube, and I know there's so many people out there who are doing YouTube, have YouTube channels, and they have more subscribers and more engagement than me. But I wouldn't look at them and be like, oh my god, I'm lesser than me, or I'm pathetic, or get what jealous about their success. I think the best thing to do is borrow tips from that person, be inspired by them, look at them and be like, this and this is what they are doing, and that's why they're successful, and I hope to aim or emulate their steps and to get to where they are. Okay, to be inspired by someone else's success as opposed to being jealous, that's pathetic. That's pathetic. That girl or that friend of yours should work on themselves. It's horrible. Like, Kimberly, that's horrible. And I'm also grateful. Like, I'm happy to know that your man was faithful to you. Like, he wasn't stolen. Like, I don't even understand why people say men can be stolen. They don't have common sense. You can't be stolen. You're not a log of wood, okay? So, it's good that your man was faithful to you and didn't flat back or didn't respond to her actions, okay? Don't ever don't ever respond to a narcissist actions, or what they are doing to you. Ignore them, and that's the best way of winning such a situation, okay? And then uh Tristan Pickney says, I got betrayed by myself, which is so true. Like, as opposed to just looking at this situation or as a way of, saying someone else betrayed me, sometimes we also betray ourselves, okay? Like, maybe you have goals set for yourself, and and if you put your best foot forward, you can do something else. But as the journey continues, you just become lazy, or you don't do what you needed to do, and you betray yourself, because people don't actually think it's a thing. It's possible for you to betray yourself, okay? Not loving yourself enough, not achieving your goals when you knew you could just do your level best and do that, not standing up for yourself is also a way of betraying yourself, okay? Not speaking up when someone is doing something bad to you is also a way of betraying yourself. So it's so true. I agree. There are days that personally I'm also a victim. There are days that I've betrayed myself. But I think the best way to approach this whole situation is just, if you notice that you did something wrong to yourself, forgive yourself and ask yourself, what can I do better to make myself feel good about myself? Yeah. And then Indria says, God has revealed when I have betrayed him. I am ashamed to admit. That's true too. I mean, for those who believe in God, like I do, God should be your friend, right? And there are days we have betrayed God. Everyone, in fact, everyone on this earth has, in one way or another, betrayed God. When you sin against him, obviously you're betraying God. So it's so true. Betrayal is real. You can betray yourself, you can betray God, you can betray those who are around you, you can even betray your, anyone and everyone. Betrayal is a thing, okay? So it's so crazy. And betrayal can even happen amongst siblings. It can happen in a family. It can happen amongst, not just friends. You can actually betray someone who's in your family, which is so true. And let me just say this, there's something I saw on Pinterest, because I'm a big fan of Pinterest. Like, I go there for inspiration in terms of fashion, quotes, personal life, anything, okay? So I saw this, I don't know if to call it a quote, but it says, I hate it when people say they are still your family. Just because someone is your family doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life if they are toxic. Blood means nothing sometimes. Don't let people guilt you into being in in what, like, being together with someone who isn't good for your mental health, which is so true. Like, for example, what Kimberly went through, I'm sure that person has a relative. And I'm sure by the time this person can do this to a friend, chances are they can do this to a family member. And this is what I always say: before you choose to cut off someone from your life, try and give them a chance. Because sometimes people can just do something wrong to you, and it's so huge, but maybe soon enough they can learn from their mistake and try do better by you, okay? So, but if then you notice that every time they do something wrong to you, they don't apologize, or they seem like they're apologizing, but after a few months or after a period of time they repeat the same mistake over and over again, and it's becoming a kind of a pattern, cut them off, okay? It's not important. Like, it's not, before you can be good to anyone else outside there, be good to yourself, okay? And you can't be good to yourself if someone is mentally draining you. That's just my opinion, okay? So I'll be honest, there are people who I'm related to, I won't go deeper into that, but who I've cut them off because they're not good to me. They're not good to my mental health. And because the reason I've cut them off, it's because their wrong deeds have been recurring and it's become a pattern. I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm choosing me, okay? I'm choosing me. I need, for me to be good outside there, for me to put out good energy into the world, I need some mental stability, okay? And if someone is draining me, I won't do that. Okay. So that's it. The comments were not so much, but I feel like they were, they had enough weight for me to be able to do a video about. So I'd like to know, do you relate to these people's situation? Have you gone through betrayal? Have you betrayed someone else? Okay, because it's not always about someone else betraying you. You can also betray someone else. Oh, and I've forgotten. There's someone who also mentioned somewhere that I think her name is Pretty Queen. No, her name is Queen. Why did they say Pretty? Her name is Queen. She said, I betrayed someone, but I asked for forgiveness though. Owning up to your mistake is also good, because she admitted to it, and the good thing, she asked for forgiveness. And that's why I say, don't always cut off people, because sometimes they agree they betrayed you, but they decided to turn away from their actions and become better people. So sometimes people also deserve forgiveness, okay? So can you relate? Have you betrayed someone? Have you been betrayed? How do you go about it? And also, try put yourself in these people's situation. Have you ever been betrayed by a friend trying to steal your man? Have you been betrayed by your own man? Have you been betrayed by your family members? But have you betrayed yourself? Okay, tell us in the comment section, so that we get to know how people get to relate and learn from your situation and become better people, okay? So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to comment in the comment section, like my videos, okay? If you love my videos, don't forget to like, don't just watch and not like, because liking my video and commenting helps my YouTube channel a lot, okay? Support your girl, okay? So up until the next video, bye bye.